All right, it's game day. We're about less than 2 hours away from kickoff, and all I know about my team tonight is that they need to get a win. That's that's basically the long and short of it. They need to go out there, offense, defense, special teams, however they do it, however unpleasant it ends up being to watch, however ugly a game it is, however many mistakes we make, we need to get out of here with a win. It's probably not going to be pretty. There are a lot of things holding this team back right now. We have a lot of issues that might be resolved later, but they're not going to be resolved tonight. But it's a game you have to win. Um, Going into Arizona, it's not something that I feel stellar about. Arizona's not having a good season. They're missing some of their key players, but it is still a dangerous game. Um, for starters, Arizona's offense. No Carson Palmer, but I'm telling you guys, they have a competent backup quarterback right now. Drew Stanton, he can play a little bit of NFL football. He's not Max Hall. He is not Ryan Lindley. He's not one of these guys who is just automatically going to throw the game away. We played the Arizona Cardinals when they had quarterbacks like that, when they had Ryan Lindley, and we beat them 58-0. I'm not exaggerating, by the way. We literally beat them 58-0 like 5 years ago with Ryan Lindley. That's not what's going to happen tonight. Their quarterback is not going to just throw us the game. Logan Thomas, that's another name from I think 2 years ago, a dude who just threw the game away, and we were never in danger of losing because he just didn't have it. Drew Stanton's a little better than that, and he's got a running back who's playing really well right now, Adrian Peterson. They got a bit of a replacement in there for David Johnson, because David Johnson's probably not going to play again this year. AP having a little bit of a career resurgence. I'm not worried about him. You always have to be worried, though, about the Arizona passing attack. Even with their backup quarterback, Bruce Arians is going to attack through the air. Larry Fitzgerald, John Brown, uh, they should be able to take shots down the field, even with a quarterback like Drew Stanton, and I expect them to. And no Earl Thomas. We don't know what's going on with Richard Sherman. We don't know what's going on with Sheldon Richardson. It's not great. I mean, last week the defense, they were missing a couple of guys, like I said, Earl Thomas, Sheldon Richardson, mostly the big losses. They fought hard. They played well. They gave up a drive at the end of the game to blow the game. Maybe Earl doesn't let that shit happen. I don't know, but all I do know is that this team has traditionally been very good at preventing big plays, and on that last drive, we gave up two of them in a row. So you got to question it. So, look, if the front lines, if our defensive line does not dominate this game like they should, we've seen Arizona's offensive line get the shit beaten out of them in some of these games. I've watched games where I swear to God, Carson Palmer got sacked, 6, 7, 8 times. I think there was one game I was watching where I was convinced that Arizona must just have a worse offensive line than even we do. So, Bennett, Clark, Richardson, if he plays, Reed, all those guys up front, it's on you, because once again, I said it last week. Unfortunately, it played out that way. I'm going to say it again this week. If the front four doesn't get to quarterback Drew Stanton, our secondary is going to be a little bit vulnerable. We still have a rookie starting at the number 2 cornerback. As good as he has played, he's still a rookie. He still gives up some stuff. And we know we don't have Earl Thomas tonight. If you don't get pass rush, they're going to get big play opportunities because we don't have our center fielder back there taking everything away from these teams. So yeah, this is not going to be a given. This is not going to be easy. Our defensive line has to show up and play a big game, or else Arizona's going to find a way to put non-trivial numbers of points on the board. Our offense cannot leave the defense hanging out to dry this time. Last week they did. It came back to bite us. I said in my last video, our offense cannot do this to us. where they were asleep for the first 50 minutes of the game and they were, leaning on their field goal kicker and he let them down. This week, to hell with the field goal kicker. Don't let him become a big factor in the game. Get in the end zone. Finish drives. Don't have penalties that completely kill drives. Basically, this is a losable game if the offense doesn't come to play from the very start, because we basically, it's the blueprint that we just saw on Sunday. Offense falls asleep for the start of the game. They never really get going until the very end, and by then, it's up in the air. It's flipping a coin. It's like, are we going to get a last-minute stop or not? If we don't, we lose. If we do, we win. So let's not have it come down to that. Let's take advantage of this Arizona defense that they got some big-time players. They got guys who are making big-time plays this year. Chandler Jones is on pace for like a 20-sack season, damn near. He's having a great year. Pat Pete, great cornerback. Tyrann Mathieu is having a fun season. He's a flawed player, but he's very active. He's all over the field. He does a lot of good stuff for them. Don't let him disrupt our game plan. Because this Arizona defense, I just listed some of their good players. They got a couple others. I think Carlos Dansby, he's still out there. They're giving up 25 points a game. They're one of the worst defenses in the league this year in terms of points allowed. But I would have told you similar things about the Washington Redskins going into last week's game. I would have said this is a defense you should be able to control the game against, but it never happened. And I need to see something from our coaching staff on top of the players as well. Our coaching staff needs to show me that they understand what's going on here. This is a team that has practically nothing at the running back position and has a slew of talent in their passing game. Are they going to understand that? Are they going to lean on that? The offense should be healthy tonight. Paul Richardson, I don't know what's going on with him, but apparently he got dinged up a little bit. He might not play, but I think he will. Eddie Lacy, I don't think he's going to play tonight, but it's not a sure thing. But with what we have, it should be enough. This Arizona defense, it seems to be about making big plays, but they're not holding up their opponents over the course of a 60-minute game. So we need to break through. Preferably we break through early, but like I said a minute ago, all I know about tonight is that we have to find a way to get the win. A loss basically kills the season. And at best, it kills our chance of making a deep Super Bowl, NFC Championship type run. We've seen these games over the last few years where, hey, you win this game, you might be the 1 seed or the 2 seed, and you can go, host a playoff game, and then you're playing for the NFC title game. All you got to do is take care of your business at home, and they lose that game, and then they get into the playoffs, and then they win a playoff game, and you're like, okay, this is a successful season. I'm happy with this season. Meanwhile, if you had just won that one game that you should have won in the middle of the regular season, that season could have been a whole lot more. It could have been NFC title game. It could have been Super Bowl. I don't think this team has the capability of winning a bunch of road games in the playoffs against really good teams. I don't. Let's get those games at home. All right. However it happens, if I turn on the game tonight and I see my offense get off to a shitty start, I'm not going to be shocked. If I see Drew Stanton lead a couple of scoring drives, I'm not going to be shocked. The makeup is there for a frustrating game, but we have to win it. We have to find a way to get the W. That's all you can say about that. And however we get it, if we get the win, I'll have nice things to say about them. This is not a game where I'm looking for style points. This is a game where I'm looking for a team that fights and guts it out and gets the win. And hopefully by the next game we get Earl back, we get Joko back maybe, and we'll have a better idea of what this team really is going to be long term. But this is about winning. All right, peace out.